Hey, what's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody out there in YouTube, Twitter. It's been an interesting, wild couple of days. Sam Connor, Anthony Barker, how you doing, man?
Very good, my friend.
It's been a wild market to say the least.
It has been incredibly wild, like ups and downs, and it's a little bit addictive. I can't stop looking at my screen to check the price.
I think that that's what everybody's going through. I'm hearing of people not sleeping because they wake up just looking at the market price. So it's been interesting. We haven't spoken in a while. How was your holidays?
It was good. It was relaxing, despite the the correction on the upward side.
It brought a little extra excitement. I want to say it started what right before Christmas or right after Christmas is when we started to see the price start to
I mean,
move.
Bitcoin just started was pounding like it just relentless.
Right.
I mean, I think it was on. You were here like a couple of episodes ago, and I said 40K, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Hit it
Yeah,
within a
yeah, you were
month.
right. You were
Unbelievable.
right. It was next year, but it was just a week into the year. All right, hey, look, why don't we go look at some charts while we have it up there? Um, Go ahead. Let's see if we can get everything set up on your side. All
Okay.
right, look at that. Wow.
And Bitcoin's just unrelenting going up since it was since December, beginning of
Yeah.
December.
Now,
It's got
I mean,
a
I
little
was
bit
gonna no,
shaky now that it's at 40K though. Let's
it's a
see.
little shaky, man. I mean, like you said, just not even a full month ago, the thought of it getting to $40,000 was something that you planned for maybe, at least I would say by the spring, at least at earliest spring of 2021. But now that we're here, I mean, this is not financial advice, but what are you feeling personally? I mean, do you capture your gains or do you say, you know what, there's some more leg room on this?
It's a good. Well, let's talk about Stellar first, since we're here to talk
Okay.
about Stellar. And Stellar, I think there is still leg room. I mean,
Okay.
look at we had a run up to you know 40 cents, and then we're down like 50%. We're down at 30 cents. So I think Stellar could. There's still some upside on Stellar. Bitcoin, it's got to digest all the gains.
Right.
Um, so, and I don't know. I have read stuff about institutionals putting 5% of their portfolio in, moving
Mm-hmm.
into gold and alternative investments, and Bitcoin's one of them.
Right.
I don't know if the network can take, I think 40K, like what are the network fees? I haven't even looked at what the network fees because I think everyone's just trading it. They're not even using it. So, who's going to spend $100 to send a Bitcoin transaction?
Good point. Good point. I mean, I know that Ethereum went up, over 1,000, and someone posted on Twitter that it was going to cost them $100 to send 34. So you're absolutely
Right.
right. That is a major concern. And as you mentioned with Stellar, I think the cool thing with that is that you have two kind of dynamics going on at once. You have a strong utility upstream that's happening with all the major announcements. We still got USDC, you got Coinbase coming out with a credit card, sorry, not a credit card, but a debit card, a Visa card, where they're going to be giving some points in XLM 4%. So you have a lot of use case that's there. But as we all know, there's also a trader's market, and in my opinion, a lot of people still don't know about Stellar. It's still everybody knows about Bitcoin, and so I think
Yeah.
you're right on that. There's definitely some upside, even just from new people looking into curious about XLM. Um, I on the Bitcoin, I guess part of me because I was just talking to my good friend. Shout out to Time Bandit out there. Um, he is had some Bitcoin in there. It's like, hey, look, should I sell? And we kind of talked about it. And I don't know if you're in the camp that's looking um, at BTC long term, going even higher. Is it worth selling now? I mean, where do you put your cash? That's always my dilemma. Is okay if I
Yeah,
pull cash, where am I gonna put it?
that's
That's
the
the
thing.
dilemma,
That's the thing.
right? You put it in a bank account and it just dies. And I'm not a Lambo person. I'm sorry, so I don't see myself taking Bitcoin and putting it into a depreciating asset. It just seems backwards to me, but that's just me.
Exactly. But so anyway, let's jump into the show a little bit more in detail. Like I think anybody knows. I think there's a correction that probably will happen in Bitcoin world, but I have a couple of trading friends who are still bullish. They say, these hedge funds got in. They didn't want just a double; they wanted a triple or a quadruple.
Yeah, I,
So,
I agree. I agree. So,
and if you look
you
at
know,
Tesla or these other companies, they're becoming, like what is value? So it's sort of everything becomes, as the Fed prints more and more sort of funny money. What I think the things like Bitcoin or Stellar or gold or Tesla shares or Google shares, they become more valuable.
I agree. I agree. I mean, you can actually for those when you get a chance, you can go to the website, the Fed site, and literally look at the assets and securities and assets that the Stellar that not Stellar that the Federal Reserve has purchased over the past year, and that is a chart. I tell you what, that's spiking like a Bitcoin chart. It's interesting to watch. So, but
Yeah.
as you said, that's a little bit on the price and kind of what's going on in the market. But as you mentioned, we're here to talk about Stellar, and something that you were putting together that I thought was really nice is kind of a breakdown of anchors, which is the lifeblood of Stellar. So why don't you go ahead into sharing that chart that you put together?
So yeah, we're talking about trading. In trading, you need good assets, and assets, a bunch of them, become valuable when you can do payments. So here's a little chart that I put together. By this little green thing shows real-time payments. That RTGS means like payments within 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So Nigeria, you can do a payment within like 5 seconds, and it goes from one bank account to another bank account. And this
Mm,
other little thing here, green and red, means if they're implementing Stellar or they're live on Stellar. And Nigeria is live on Stellar with Flutterwave and with NGNT. So you can
wow.
trade Nigerian tokens and cash it out and get it to a bank account in 5 seconds. It's great.
Nice, nice. This is a great, great, great chart, by the way. Um, you did a really good job. Appreciate it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to appreciate you putting this together. So, big thank you to you, Barker.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I'm looking forward to having more of these countries come online. And what I see with Stellar is the sort of seamless payment from real time payment in, say, Nigeria goes to a real time payment in Brazil or real time payment in Europe. So you can have your euros and cash it into Nigerian token through Stellar in real time within 20 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
and all in real time. Where Swift takes 24 hours, has to be business hours. Um,
Isn't it? Isn't that
if
ins-
we
isn't
can,
isn't that a crazy though? I mean, we live in 2021, and if I go to send you some money, guess what? You can't get it on the weekend. You got to wait till Monday. I mean, yeah, that
yeah,
makes absolutely no sense. We need real time settlement. So this is great to see.
yeah. So we're going to go through these countries. We'll go to the Stellar website and we'll look at the anchors that are behind that do cash in and cash out to these countries.
Mm-hmm.
Now, an anchor for you, what does that mean? Like, I know there's a technical definition, but what do you see? What's an anchor?
When I hear anchor, the short answer that I give is an on off ramp.
Okay. So for me, there's two parts. There's the issuing part. So the custody part. So the somebody who's cashing in euros into a bank in Europe, who's holding that money when they issue the token? That's
Mm-hmm.
one part of the anchor. The second part of the anchor is the cash in and cash out. So you can break it into two. And I know that USDC with coins, uh, who's issuing it?
Circle.
It's
Circle and
Circle.
Coinbase.
With
Yeah.
Circle, they're not actually going to do the cash in and cash out. They're looking for partners to do it. So and they've got a bank behind it, which is doing the custody. So they're kind of like an API into the bank that partners that smaller anchors can go through to
Hmm.
issue and redeem USDC.
So are you saying
So
so hypothetically could I become an anchor and decide to and now be able to seamlessly issue USDC on off ramps? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, well, you wouldn't be issuing it. You'd have to sign up with Circle on their partnership program and get access to their API, and then when a payment comes in, you'd get a notification like a thing called a webhook. You get a little IT system makes a call, and you know that the money arrived in the bank account, and you can issue that, and then you do another call to issue the tokens. So it's pretty seamless, their
Wow.
API. Um, so yeah, anybody could anchor for somebody else. Like APay has got their Bitcoin. Someone else could do an APay Bitcoin anchor, for example.
Okay.
It's kind of interesting. Yep. Okay, so let's go through Stellar's list, and we'll look at Stellar Expert at the same time. So here's on Stellar's website and explore the ecosystem. We got Tempo, which I helped found.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a Euro stable token. Got Argentina StableX. Now StableX, I've tested. They've got one for ARST, and they've got another one for Brazil. They
Okay.
announced. So they're doing both Argentina and Brazil. I'm pretty pumped about what they're doing. It looks like they've got really a good model. Um,
Now, why are you pumped in particular about them? And why them? Because
so they've done
even when that got announced, I remember you were very excited about the Latin America market opening up. And whenever you
well,
get
the
excited,
first,
I jot that in my brain.
yeah. So the first thing is Argentina is notoriously unstable. The inflation's running at like 20 or 30%. Um, the banking system doesn't really work there too well. And so people are looking for ways to get into US dollars and to protect themselves from inflation. So the
Okay.
USDX, Anchor USD, it's been the one they've launched there, connected into their ARST, their Argentinian token.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pumped because, and then the second thing is that they've signed up a bunch of big exchanges. Like I noticed, OKEX, OK Exchange,
Mm-hmm.
they're using them in the back end.
Oh, really? That's big
Yeah, and I've
news.
heard they've signed up Binance as well, as I've heard. So like
Nice.
Binance and OKEX are using the same rails as the ARST.
So Binance and OKXC, their clients that are trading on their exchanges, if they want to cash out, they'll be using a Stellar based stablecoin, is what you're saying.
I'm not clear if that's 100%. They could be. Um, I'm not privy to the details on their agreement,
Okay.
but it does mean that they've got big volume and that they can go easily in and out of the Argentinian token without pushing the price of stellar lumens too much, which has been an issue.
Nice.
They can go directly from XLM into ARST,
Okay. Okay.
which I've seen as a bit of an issue for example, in Africa where there's not real volume on XLM, so you need
Mm-hmm.
to go into like Bitcoin and then go through Bitcoin to XLM and then out, or even through US dollar like USDT. So I'm pumped because I think it'll really it's a really great use case after our Tempo Euro for like directly converting XLM into the local currency.
That's great. Great news. Great news.
Okay. Now I'm getting confused between Settle and StableX. No, this is so Settle's another one. Okay. Settle's the Mexican company, I believe.
No, Settle now. Yeah, maybe if you because Settle is also in Argentina. So you got Argentina, Brazil, and Mexican stablecoin. Um, Actually, I got to meet. I met Nick back in 2019, Meridian. Got to actually get me and Colton sat down with him. So yeah, they've also got all those stones as well. So yeah, it's the same as that company. So you got StableX. That's their token right there.
Right. Okay. And Settle's the same one,
Yeah.
or it's separate. Okay. Settle, I think, is like the back end payments company, and
Mm-hmm.
StableX is the issuer of the token. So this is another reason I think they've set it up legally very smart. Where
Good.
StableX is like not in Argentina, so the government can't come in and shut them down.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
And where Settle is like an Argentinian company that's doing the actual payment side. So they broke it into two.
Smart move. Smart
Which
move.
and then Cowrie, I've been a big fan. I've been working with Gabumbi for years. Um, they've got a great platform for cashing in and cashing out to banks in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
They've talked about partnering with other companies to do other stable tokens such as Ghana, but I know they're still dealing with the growth they have just in Nigeria.
Now, Flutterwave's been around for a long time too, haven't they?
Yeah, Flutterwave has been around here for a long time. We used to work with them. Here's Flutterwave right here. They've got a couple of tokens. They had one for that we used with Tempo. They have a Ghana token they issued, and a Kenyan, a KES token they issued.
Okay.
Um, the main issue I had with Flutterwave is they weren't really committed to the trading aspect, so there wasn't much liquidity on the DEX
Mm-hmm.
for their tokens. So it was so we were still have to settle with a bank wire. Whereas with
Ooh.
Cowrie, we're doing really online. You can settle with them online. That's why I'm pretty pumped about Argentina because I think with this first row of companies, you'll be able to settle on chain. No bank wires, no going through Bitcoin. You'll be able to settle right in XLM.
Okay. That's exciting.
And then Anchor USD as well. So then we've got Salvo from Mexico, Finclusive, which you interviewed, I think, a
That's actually
couple
that.
months back.
Yeah. Well, we had some conversations. We're actually gonna plan on doing something later this month. So yeah,
Okay.
Finclusive and Finclusive will fall into that category we talked about before, where they're not necessarily focusing on the on off ramp, but more the compliance issue inside. So they're uh,
Right.
they're pretty
I,
excited.
I do know that they've been helping some companies with Anchor USD. So they've basically been an anchor for Anchor USD.
Nice, nice, nice.
When I talked to Satoshi Pay guys, and they were using Finclusive as a partner for issuing of the USDX or Anchor USD token.
Man, that guy, their CEO Amit I mean, the guy's he knows his stuff, man. His background,
Yep.
I think people are gonna like hearing from him because his background, he worked at the U.S. Treasury, um, he helped put together AML and all that stuff. I mean, the guy's a brilliant man. So, I definitely understand why companies would want to partner with him. Euro Wallet is. I'm actually going to be speaking with them soon. We're coordinating that. We have a date set, as a matter of fact. Um, but Euro Wallet, I know they're in Tanzania, and
No, they're in South Africa. So you're talking Uru? Or are you talking about this one
yeah,
down the bottom?
yeah. Well, so I guess their stable coin is Tanzania.
No, ZAR. I think it's South Africa.
Is that South Africa?
Yep, yep. It says right here.
Ah, okay.
WhatsApp digital wallet for South Africa, issue of ZAR stable token.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking with them as well. And I believe I believe that they might be connecting out there. And maybe that's where I got that from. But they're doing a lot of stuff with WhatsApp
Yep.
integration. They
I've got
even
their WhatsApp wallet. I've tested
you
it at.
have
Yeah.
you tested it?
It's,
What do you think of it?
I mean, WhatsApp's the killer app, right? Everyone uses it. I think when I spoke to Lisa at Stellar Foundation, she said it was her favorite new app. I think it's cool. I don't know how they're doing. I think they've got some backdoor into WhatsApp. Don't let me say anything about that, but because it's really hard to use their API, it's quite expensive. Um, or if you're using like a Twilio or an API based access into WhatsApp, they're charging you 3 to 5 cents a message. So I don't
Wow.
know. I don't know how they're doing it, but they've managed to get WhatsApp working pretty well, and more power to them. I really hope it takes off.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. That'll be another one coming up soon. We're gonna highlight some of that. Click Pesa.
I've noticed some trading on this one. This one's got a little bit of volume. I traded in and out of it a few times there as the AR. You can
Okay.
trade it for the Cowrie NGNT and for the Tempo Euro and Anchor USD.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to John out there, man. Look forward to chatting with you guys and sharing more about the Euro wallet. And of course,
Then Bankhouse.
yeah,
Sorry, go
Bankhouse.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say yeah, Bankhouse. You know, they the oldest bank in Germany.
So yeah, I'm excited. I haven't heard. I've traded. I bought a couple on the DEX. There's really no liquidity. Um, I'm hoping they build the liquidity. And I spoke to Satoshi Pay guys, and they're planning on using them for their D transfer product.
Right. That should be
So
good.
that's yeah, it's good. So they're going to use SEP6, this sort of API into the bank, and be able to cash in, cash out. Um, Pretty cool. Then we got ClickPesa. I think they're Tanzania and Kenya. They've been around for a while.
Yeah, watch out for Tanzania, man. It's they've I know that there's a big if I'm not mistaken East African trading agreement that just went into place. I got my eye out in that area. I won't be surprised if that doesn't become a real big business hub in the near future.
Okay, and then we'll just go to the second tab and go through them quickly. Anchor. Ours, I don't know these guys. Do you know them?
I don't. I remember when it first popped up. I thought that maybe it was the same connected with the same anchor folks here in the states, but I don't believe so. But I did hear some. I forgot the gentleman's name, but apparently he's known by various folks, and obviously he's on the SDF site. But yeah, looking forward to seeing what they got to go on, what they got going on.
Then we got N tokens for Brazilian real. I've used them. I got a guy who works for me in Brazil, and he cashed out. He got it within 20 minutes, so it works pretty seamlessly.
Okay, wow.
He used Vibrant, I think, to cash it out.
I mean, shoot, I can't. I mean, for me to cash out even in here in the states is going to cost me money. I got to pay a premium for it. So for him to do it over there in Brazil in 30 minutes, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then these guys, Anchor MXN. I don't know them either. Um, so let's look at the Stellar Dex and see who's got volume of these guys.
All right.
Okay, let's go to markets. So you go to Stellar Expert if you want to find who's got volume, who you want to trade. I think we talked about this before. There's this markets tab. And then what I go to is I go to Fiat. And then you can see the different trading pairs. The last price,
Wow.
the spread, that's the difference between the buy and the sell price. So if you put an order into if you had some US dollars and you had it sitting on the Stellar Dex, and someone sold you some XLM, you'd immediately make 2.67%, or roughly, you'd make half of it. So you'd make about 1.3%.
Oh, I like that 4% I see down there with the NGNT.
Yeah, that one, NGNT is very volatile. I've tried to trade that, and it's against XLM. It's lots of bots there that they go back and forth. It's really, that one's the Wild West. Then we've got Ripple Fox trading for USD. There's some volume there. Uhuru Wallet, we talked with Cowrie Exchange. We talked about Uhuru Wallet. You see, there's some volume there.
Mm-hmm.
People trading in and out of South African ZAR, and people trading between USD and Nigerian Cowries and GNT. So you can see there's a market there.
3% spread.
2.96%. And then you could trade US dollars for Euro T. The spread's pretty tight there. It's at 1%, a little under 1%. N tokens, which was on the second tab we talked about, that's a 4.8% spread. N tokens again. Interstellar Exchange, which I think we did a demo for.
We did.
Yeah. Now XAF, I think that's West Africa. That's French West Africa. I don't know if you can cash that one out or not.
Okay.
I know all the ones on the Stellar website are doing this thing called SEP 24, SEP 6, or SEP 31. And so that means that you can basically cash in and cash out pretty seamlessly. Then we got N tokens again. We've got ClickPesa, which we looked at. And then people are trading Nigerian tokens for Bitcoin, Ape's Bitcoin. And then there's a little bit of volume, like I told you, Uhuru Wallet into euros and Uhuru Wallet into Tanzanian. So it's pretty cool to see this inter-Africa traffic.
A lot of
Coming in.
inter-Africa traffic. Yeah, a lot of inter-Africa traffic. That is good to see. You know,
Anyways,
it's just really cool because they didn't really have a legacy infrastructure, and so the ability, and I think we're gonna see this in a lot of emerging markets. They're gonna latch on to this new technology and run full blast with it, a lot faster and a lot further than I think many people realize.
for sure. I think the first page basically covers most of the bigger volumes. Here's the Mexican token we talked about, Salvo.
Mm-hmm.
D-Stock, Airbnb. Hey, man, that's
Hey,
cool.
look at that! They're making it. We have our first stock popping up. I see. Look at that. Even Apple's down there. I see.
Nice. So you can trade out your Apple and pay for your Starbucks. That's the dream, man.
There you go. That's great to see, man. That is awesome. I don't know if people watching this realize how cool that is. That we have currencies and now we have stocks listed and trading on the Stellar Decentralized Exchange.
Yeah, for me, it's amazing. The main thing again is just we need more and more people using it, more volume. Hey, do you want to talk about? I'm talking about trading. Do you want to just mention that cool site you showed me in WhatsApp? Where are you? Here we are. You sent me this link.
Okay, yeah, go ahead,
Interesting
pull it.
topic. You sent me a link about this website. It's like a layer 2 for trading.
Oh yeah, so what it was, I guess no, actually it was from a conversation that was going on with that Orbit Lens. I want to say brought up is that the one about the, yeah, I want to say that's the one that was related to Orbit Lens. and they were talking about because of all the arbitrary arbitrage trading, that the fees were going up, and they brought in maybe the concept of creating a second layer to the DEX, which is pretty interesting to see. What do you think about it?
So you could use the one that Orbit Lens is working on, which is it's like a layer two solution. It's a little bit like Ethereum version two,
Mm-hmm.
um, just another layer on top of the base of Stellar. But this one, it's using fee bumps, which is something that came in the last upgrade, and they talked a lot about it at Meridian, to do this layer two order book, which is pretty cool. So you can put orders in the order book, and it'll match, and it'll match cryptographically outside of Stellar. And
Wow.
only when it matches do you get it solved. And then if it doesn't go through here, they send it off to the level one into Horizon and into the real Stellar order books. They basically created this level two order book between USD on testnet and XLM.
What do you think would the advantages of this would be?
I mean, advantages are that um, the main one would be that when you want to change a price, they don't have changing of price, but if you wanted to change a price, I think you wouldn't have to send it through Horizon, but I'm not 100% sure because they haven't implemented that. But I think you can cancel and it won't go to Horizon. It won't go to Stellar.
Hmm.
Um, but I think it's just early days. I think it's an experiment, and we'll see what comes out of it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the points that you brought up are good. Why bog down the decks with a bunch of unsuccessful attempts, right? Is basically what it is. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So definitely, and what a lot of people don't realize is Stellar Expert, which is backed by Orbit Lens, is an independent organization. They got their own team. They're not part of SDF. So just kind of goes into the whole decentralization of just the overall networking community. That everything's not controlled by one entity. It's spread out, and what it allows for is a lot of transparency. And Stellar Expert has definitely led the way on that. So shout out to Orbit Lens, regarding that. So we're just past about 30 minutes here.
great.
I think we covered a lot of a lot of great stuff. Any final thoughts, final words before we sign off here?
No, I mean, let's just keep building the network. That's all I can say.
Let's keep building the network. Well, I think there's got a lot of positive things scheduled out for this month. Um, and so I think that there's going to be a lot of good opportunity. One thing that I think that the excitement in even with just Bitcoin, going through the roof, is that it brings renewed excitement and interest to blockchain. And I think we can both agree that Stellar is one of those protocols that when people are learning about blockchain for the first time, they're going to grasp and look further into. A lot of great tools. A lot of great tools. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little breakout. And Anthony Barker, Sam Connor, we will see you next week.
Thanks, Sam.